Hi, everybody. Welcome to Lifted Voices with Fifi. Like I said yesterday, you never know. You just never know. We might do another episode early this week. I decided today to do another one. I am just so happy that I can do this. I was working today. I was at work and I literally just walked in my house and I thought, oh, I'm just so happy today. Why not do another episode? Because I feel like what I spoke about yesterday is sort of, I feel like I was encouraged to talk about it yesterday, our role in supporting the young people, because I love how my job and my personal ministry life and things that I do in my personal time just so work well together with my ministry, with my job as well, because I felt like I got my answers today when I went to work, and like we had everybody just dedicating half an hour, half of our day today just to focus and talk on something that I felt like I talked about yesterday. I'll never stress enough how important it is to build up the youth for tomorrow. And I hope you can hear me because I literally was just putting everything together so fast. I just walked in my house and I'm cooking. So if I bag off, I'm cooking. So yeah, so that is that. So I felt like I should talk about it. But anyway, before we start our intro again, welcome to Lifted Voices with Fifi, where we rise in purpose, faith, and intentional living. And in our today's episode, it's about something many people don't talk about, the private battles. I'm one of those people. You'll never know what I go through in private because I'm just never going to talk about it. I'm one of those people. I feel like as an orphan, like you build up this resilience that you can face through anything and you don't know where to go with your problems. You can't just go and open up everything everywhere. You learn to be strong. Well, I grew up with my grandfather, and I feel like one thing he taught me, I know in today's world we live in, it might not be the correct way of saying things, but I remember my grandfather would tell me that, you know what, Phyllis, you're an orphan, and that's why I'm so tough on you because I know that you can do better than this. And I remember I always used to think, oh, this man is so rough on me. He's so like he makes my life miserable until towards the end of his life. And he's like, you're like my greatest pride. And I was like, why? You gave me hard time the most. And he was like, I did that because I knew in a world where I'm not, you can survive it. And up to today, I'm forever grateful for that. He taught me how to work hard as a human being and as a woman and as a person of faith. Those are all the things that he taught me. And he also taught me how to fight privately, how to fight my battles privately, especially through prayers, because they taught us this by example. So the private battles are something that we don't see, and it's rare for people to put it out there, especially in today's world, social media that we have. We all love to put good things out there. And like I said, we're all the same. I'm not taking myself out of the equations. And the struggles that nobody really posts online. We don't post our struggle. We always post our good picture. Is it properly filtered? Is it properly nice? Is it properly taken? Which I'm very lazy. Like if you see my pictures, most of them, they're very bad when I post stuff on social media. It's because I'm not really good with the whole right angles and stuff, and I've given up on all those things, how to make things proper and perfect. Or speaking of proper and perfect, if anyone wants to help me with making thumbnails for my video, I'll be grateful. Thank you. So, the struggles that we don't post online and the discipline that no one applauds. It's so hurtful. I know this because I also like I've done so many things that At one point of my life, I always used to think someone should applaud me for the work that I've done. I've done good. I've done something for someone. I've done amazing things for, everybody. Why is no one noticing what I'm doing? So things like that. And the most important things, the tears that nobody sees. We all have that because, the truth is, um, the life you want publicly is built by the victories you win privately. That's why I feel like I used to be so ashamed to celebrate myself, to put out there what I do, my work and everything. I don't know if you noticed in the past on my socials, I never really used to post about all these good things that I'm doing, my work, all my life and everything. And I realized that, oh, have the private battles that I've gone through are the ones that led me to this victory. So it's okay. And that tends to be the tendency of what we really do mainly. We just post about those victories. That's the thing we're all comfortable doing. So we live in a world that celebrates results but really respect like the preparation process. And this is why I've spoken about, I think sometime last year, about how different each season was for me, the growth that I had to go through each season, how I went through the season of preparation, I went through a season of just rebuilding, and it was just all different from one another. And that is something that people really respect, really. And people just see the success and assume that, you know, this person, what they've gone through, this person, what they have, they've had it overnight. But what they don't see are the quiet mornings of prayers, those late AM prayers, and the night of persistence, and the moments you choose to grow instead of comfort. And I know this, like I can testify to this. I feel like in the past, especially in the past 5 years, I've worked hard. In the past, from 2020 to 2026 now, I've worked hard. I was doing full-time ministry and it's not easy. And I had to do full-time ministry for almost 4 years in Africa, not in the city, in a village where people don't speak not even one word of English. I had to learn, I had to adapt. I come from the UK. I know I'm from Zimbabwe, but I had to adapt to a life that I didn't know. And that is a lot. And that is something that people never see because the behind the work was not easy because like when we were in Rwanda, everything started from scratch. Like people come to Rwanda today and they see everything beautiful and everything, but they don't know. That is something I always tell people when they go to Rwanda, or you just don't know how far someone had to go through for this to be where it is. And it's not just that, from 2020 to now, the work we've done in Rwanda while doing full-time ministry, while being part of the community, learning the community. I also finished my postgraduate in public health and health promotion. I I got sick. I got really, 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 really sick where I thought my life was literally gonna end at some point towards the end of 2023 into 24. Beginning of 2024, I was really, really sick. I literally thought my life was done. And I was like, I know I can't tell my weight now, but I was 45 kgs. I'm very tall. I'm 168 centimeters. So I don't know. I don't know, 5'6", 5'7"? I don't know. I was 45 kilos with the way I'm tall. So I was so sick and I lost so much weight. And somehow like I don't know whether I react or it was because I was unwell. My skin just nothing was working. Just nothing was working. I came back while I was still sick, and after almost being in full-time ministry, after not full-time ministry, but after not working in a full-time job for more than 8 years, I had to come back, restart a whole new life, start looking for job, which if you haven't worked for that long, you just don't get a job overnight. And having to go through a season where I had to reset, restart, reaffirm my faith in a different world, navigate my faith in a complete different world, live in a different life that I haven't lived in a long time, and just restart. It felt like restarting my life. And restarting your life in your 30s is not easy because I'm in my mid 30s now. So aging well. But anyway, it was a lot. And then while I'm sick, jobless, doing all those things, I started again my second postgrad. So I finished last year my master's in diplomacy and international relations. And at the same time, I was doing so many things. I was doing a lot of online studies. I was starting to build up, well, it was there, but I was literally just making sure that the foundations of my organization is done properly, it's set, and it's running properly. I was just making sure that my personal ministry was set, and at the same time trying to grow, try to learn, try to fight all the struggles that I was going through at the same time, trying to doing internships, studying full time, start doing internship full time, doing part-time jobs, working full-time jobs. It was all at once. So those are the moments that a lot don't say, but everybody sees this Phyllis who's traveling to China, who's traveling to Romania, who's traveling to, I don't know, Vienna, who's traveling here, who's traveling to South Africa, who's traveling there, who's traveling here. But the stress, I'm not gonna lie, all those trips I've gone, I was so stressed out because I was still studying full time. So I had to study my flight there, my flight back. While I'm there, every minute I'm not doing anything. I'm just studying. I'm doing my studies. When I'm back, I'm doing my studies. I'm working full time. And my first full time job was so stressful because I haven't had a full time job in 8 years. So it was the hard, those tears I had to go through those time. And remember, there was a lot of changes, not just in my health, emotional changes, mental changes, physical changes, a lot of change. I'm cooking and I feel like I'm not burning anything. I hope I'm not burning anything. I hope I haven't burned anything yet. But anyway, yeah, so all those changes. And I feel like it was a lot. And hidden seasons are not wasted seasons. That's one thing I can testify with. They're called training season. Well, that's what I used them for in that's how I applied them over my life. I felt like those were training season because now I can do anything. Give me anything, throw anything at me. Like like Jesus said to Satan, throw anything to my servant. He can take it. And I feel like that. And I feel so empowered by the strength of Christ that I'm truly in a position where I feel like I can navigate in any way of life and still be firm and still understand my core because of those private discipline moments that I had. So before influence comes, before influence, what comes first is discipline. And before the elevation, there is that just whole preparation time that many young people just don't get. I hope we are we are the people that can help and support them in that growth, because in today's world, I noticed this. I have so many nieces and nephews. I'm speaking from experience. They want visible platforms. But there's so few people who are willing to build invisible characters, and yet we sustained this sort of future that not everybody claps for. And we all want something that everybody can see, everybody can applaud us for it. But if you want something tangible, you need to practice something when nobody's watching. Start behind closed doors. If you cannot be consistent in the private, visibility will expose you instead of elevate you. That is one important thing. And this is one of the main reason, like, since I've been back home, I took a year out. Like, I've been thinking of starting online, doing my things online, but I thought I took a full year out just to rebuild myself, just to be aligned with what God wanted me to do in the season and time when it comes. So I had to go through the season of preparation, and that season where I can be fully disciplined and be aware of what are my goals, what God wants out of me to do. So just and I feel like that faith sort of helped me. And I feel like that faith also grew in the quiet place, in those private nights where I pray when the whole house is sleeping, when I'm alone and nobody's listening. I felt like those were my growth moment. Why? Because I had just had a clear mind. I was alone and I had some time to allow God to just speak into me. And God allows those seasons where nobody notices, like when no one notices your efforts, because those are the time where he's strengthening you, and he's allowing he's just seeing what people cannot see, and that is your patience, your humility, your endurance, your dependence on him. And that is something that we need to practice in our life, whether things are good or bad, whether things are difficult or not. We need to practice our dependence on God. And when time comes and I feel like I'm in that season where I'm so confident that this is my season, there is a song by Sinach, and I've heard this song is literally maybe about 15 years old. It is that old. Where he's saying, I believe this is my season. It's time to shine again. And I'm so positive that I know and I am 100% sure this is my season. And that comes after going through the preparation, after passing this preparation time in hidden places. So this week, I know I gave a challenge yesterday, but this week I just want to add another one. I just want to add a challenge that you can do with this three private victories, I would call it. These things that I've done in my personal private life to help me. I feel like it helped me to grow. I hope my port is okay. To help me to grow, to be the person I am today. Well, I'm not perfect, but I feel like I I believe I know what God has called me to do. I know my purpose. I know where I am, and I believe that I can do anything through Christ. And I believe that God has a vision past what I envisioned, and I can see so far. And I'm sure God has even much more to what I can see. So this was all prepared in these private little victories that I've been practicing in the past seasons. And number one, which is do something productive even when nobody's checking on you, which is something that a lot of people do struggle with. And I've been in ministry for years, like I've done full-time ministry, and one thing I failed to do is to be a me, see what I'm doing. I failed to do that because I feel like when I'm doing ministry or whatever I'm doing it because God wants me to do that. And I do that to the best of my ability, not because I want everybody to see what I'm doing or some. So just learn to do something productive, and make sure that nobody's watching, nobody's checking on you, or you're not even letting the whole world know what you've done or what you're doing. And number two, just improve a skill that will matter to you in the future. I know this might be difficult, but just do anything. Just find a skill that you want to prove every day. Success doesn't have to happen overnight. Take your time and improve over time. And once that becomes part of you, you become the victor over that. And number three, strengthen your spiritual life quietly. Spiritual life is not for display. Locals talking, I'm doing it on live stream. But spiritual life is not for display, but for depth. And this is one thing I always used to tell people, like, when I do, because my ministry, I feel like was so visible because I used to sing praise and worship and everything like that. And people so always like, oh, I love how you sing. You're so amazing. And I'm like, oh, darling. Only if you know what happens when I'm on my own in the closed room. Only if you know what goes on at night when I'm alone in the room. You know, a lot of people always used to wonder, especially when I was in Rwanda, why is Phyllis always awake until morning? She doesn't sleep. She doesn't. I enjoy my free time alone where I know everyone is sleeping and it's just me alone in the room. And I would sing the loudest worship in in inside my body because obviously everyone is sleeping, so you can't really sing out loud. So just using my inner voice, I could feel like I could burst, but I was just so filled up with so much joy, and I felt like those were my building moments. And basically, your consistency today is building a future that you cannot see. You might not think that is possible, but you just cannot see what you're doing, what you're sacrificing you're doing today is going to bring out in your tomorrow. So just for anybody who feels unnoticed, do not feel discouraged. Do not be discouraged. There was a guy from Divine Joseph. He wrote a song. I don't know if he is even released the song, but anyway, it's from the scriptures. I'll just say the word. It says, I am your God. I will go with you wherever you may go. Do not be afraid. Do not be discouraged, because I am your God. I'll go with you wherever you may go. Be strong and courageous wherever you may go. So even when you feel unnoticed, do not be discouraged. Many of the greatest turning points in life begins when nothing seems like anything is happening. Growth is often seen as silent before it becomes visible. So a seed that grows under the ground, some seeds takes way longer before you even see a big tree with fruits or anything. So just be patient, allow God to be God, and just keep on trusting that He'll see you through whichever season that you're in. So I'm gonna make it short today because I have a pot which I'm still hoping it hasn't burned because I'm very hungry and I just came back from work. I came running. I think it's a good thing that you always come late and running. Then I learned to cut short my videos and put in my pot there. It teaches me to cut my videos. So this is the first. Congratulations, Phyllis. You've done a first video that is under 30 minutes live. So thank you, everybody. Thank you for joining me on Lifted Voices with Fifi. And remember, the battles that you win privately will determine the life you live publicly. So stay faithful, stay disciplined, and keep rising. Until next time, stay lifted. Have a good week. Bye. Ooh.